All right, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Once more time. Today is still September 25th, 2024. Here for one more trade review for the PM session. Again, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am not selling any mentorships. I'm not selling anything. I'm purely just reviewing my trading activity in hopes that it might help somebody else out there. All right, so what we have here is I have the raw footage, as you see down here, of a screen recording I did of my Camtasia. Here's the real time right now. It is 1:43 p.m. I'm in the central time zone. So it's now 2:43 New York time. So this was when this was being executed. And we're just going to let it play. Fair warning, don't let your kids listen. There is foul language in here because this is a life in the day of a trader that has to deal with emotions and life in general. So I'm looking to take a long, targeting higher prices based on continuation from the AM session, figuring anticipated lunch being, consolidation, taking out some stops, and just seeing we ran some stops right here. I was anticipating higher prices, so let's take a listen and watch. Got my limit order set right underneath that volume imbalance. Expecting price to come back down. I'm targeting right now just the PM session highs, the most recent swing high there. I shouldn't say most recent, but of the session, the swing high of the session, and ultimately looking for the relative equal highs up here. That's what we're targeting. A little bit longer of a trade, different than the opening range gap model. And let's see what happens and take a listen. Come on. Oh, you suck. Are you fucking kidding me? So yeah, that's me real in real time. So I missed the trade, didn't get in by 1 or 2 ticks, and I wasn't happy about it. So that doesn't bode well for, like, I could have scalped and probably gotten out there. That's almost 20 points right there. So I think about chasing it, but then I think twice, looking at different fair value gaps to potentially look for a continuation. I don't like the stop being there. Well, let's just see what we do here. So here my thought is, if it'll fill in, going for consequent encroachment of just the most recent gap, and that being a breakaway gap below, is my thoughts there. I don't like the fact that it's IO fed. There typically isn't a second touchdown, so I'm thinking maybe if I take a trade at the bottom of the first presentation fair value gap. So I'm obviously thinking way too much right here. Moving my entries around. 138. Let's wait. I'm looking at the time. I don't like the time. I just finally realized that I'm a little early. Literally 66. Looking at targeting the end dog there. If you haven't done this yet, I recommend recording yourself. It's very interesting to hear yourself after the fact. Clearly I'm in distress right now. Heavy breathing. I shouldn't even be trading. But I'm angry that I didn't get that fill, is what I'm thinking right now. It's going to run. But it's life of a trader. So this is... Am I recording? Can you hear me now? I just realized that the microphone's on. So I'm trying to do better at always recording my trades to review it like this. Full transparency, I haven't recorded every single trade because it's not the easiest thing to do, and it does change your psychology. So I'm looking at getting in the middle of that. There we go. Executed one. Market order fills. Put my stop below. Excuse me. Stops below CE of this wick is my reasoning there, and also hoping this, or hoping, I shouldn't say hoping, but that's absolutely what it is. It's hoping this fair value gap wouldn't fill in. I'm anticipating this being a breakaway gap, and CE that wick being my stop. So if those multiple PD rays fail, then it's probably going lower, so I don't want to be in it. So let's see what we do. There, I look at the CE of that wick and that fair value gap, including the volume imbalance. Just taking a close look. And so I'd look to put two more in there, keep my stop in the same spot. Got to change it to 4 contracts now. Take a look at the 5-second chart, and we're stopped out. I'm pretty sure I bought it. I literally thought I clicked buy there, but thankfully I actually missed it. And then we get interesting how price literally moved as I hit the buy. It can't be me, but that's what you always think. You think that that's the market coming after you as soon as you get in, even though that's just the market doing what the market does. So now we're in the second trade. I'm basically revenge trading right there, it feels like. Looking at my exits, still looking at all the relative equal highs up here. Seeing that very jagged at the bottom, anticipating price to go higher with the daily bias still, and anticipating a continuation from the morning session again, still all the same framework is what I'm thinking. Now I'm watching these price areas. CE of that previous wick there. A lot of wicks. Prices return into that same fair value gap. I want to get those numbers out of my way, so just take the labels off. I can see a little better. I know we're coming up on the macro time here. It's 1:43 now, coming up to 1:44. Macro is 1:50 to 2:10 p.m. New York time. You're going to see a whole lot of things of what not to do here. So this is a day in the life, as I said, of a real trader and dealing with psychology and emotions and trading. So this stuff is not easy. Back in the positive side, we're definitely consolidating. Okay, we like that. Tap that and go. I like to close above. Set a sell order here. The high of the PM session so far. And then where can we target the terminus? I'm looking at all that as we are in the trade. I'm looking for where can I actually, what's the good target here? And price moves against me as I'm not watching. Thinking about buying more, adding on again as we tapped into that fair value gap. I don't recommend dollar cost averaging. This is not a good practice. I'm trying not to do that, but I'm also seeing different things of price as I've gotten more seat time and more journaling that I've seen when price can wick below, try to take out, basically do stop hunts, and then revert and run. That's what makes the standard retail trader think that the market's against them, because these stop hunts, if you ask me. So I'm going to throw CE of that large wick. I'd like to see that not get traded through. Just because I want to see it doesn't mean it'll happen, though. Looking for reactions off interesting areas of price like that. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking at ES off the chart to see if there's any SMT potentially happening at these lows. And there's the worst thing you can do is try and move your stop.
Wait, what?
And you still get hit, so I'm actually glad that took me out. I wasn't happy at the time. All right, hold on. All right, so I'm actually looking. What happened there was I was looking down at my P&L, and you actually can't see it. Big sigh, not happy. So I'm not watching the P&L while I'm trading. I'll look at it after. Just trading the chart. And it's all within my risk tolerance. But you see, this is exactly what happens, is that wick does the damage that you've heard many times.
Why isn't price moving? That's bullshit.
I'm watching price stop moving here for a few seconds, which is rare, but does happen occasionally. So I'm not happy about that. And I re-entered, looking at, now we're at 148. I'm anticipating the reversal to start. It's as close to a turtle soup as I've ever probably gotten. I'm not a town. I don't like turtle soup entries, but I'm going to have a much tighter stop on this. I mean, if I'm wrong again, I'm not going to be wrong at 80 ticks. It's going to be the 34 that you see there. Or I might adjust it just slightly. But we're looking at, yep, get that terminus still up there somewhere. We'll deal with that later. And I'm getting positioned for the macro, which is going to start at 150 in just over a minute.
Come on, brother, run.
I'm talking to the market now. All right, there we have price coming back down, touching the top of the high of the candle. I am going to not get stopped up this time, so that's not the great thing to do. I know 80 ticks is my 20 points, and I wanted it below the true day open there, is what I was looking at. Looking for anything interesting on the left side real quick. So price can wick down, take out the PM, or excuse me, the lunch session lows, and then run, is what I'm thinking. But I'm not expecting it now that we're getting close to 15 seconds to the macro starting. Let's take a look. And you'll notice there's an inversion fair value gap right there that I'm going to draw in. Price comes back down, taps the bottom of it. Now we're inside the macro. We have just taken out some sell side liquidity, so we're primed for higher prices. Properly annotated my 1 minute inversion fair value gap. So this is my third at bat in the PM session. If this one fails, I'll be wrapping it up. So this is the line in the sand. And now we're expecting to see price spool. Much better. So I'm not even talking anymore. It's a lot easier to manage a trade when you're on the positive side than when you try and get in early. So that's the words of wisdom to myself is wait for the right time, Dan. Small little volume imbalance there. Price came back into it right there. And I want to look on taking off a partial. Switch it over to one contract. Take a partial right above the next swing high in line. We just took out this swing high. Now I'm targeting the next swing high as my partial exit. I'm going for the body right here. That's why I placed that target where I did, and now we're at so 148 to 178. That's a nice 30 points. That's a great area for a partial for me. We're at 81 ticks. We just crossed over the regular 20-point run, so again, graduate into higher runs, which will make up for
Immediate rebalance and go.
Immediate rebalance and go is what I'm thinking. Sometimes you ask and you shall receive. Hovering over the close just in case we hit that first presentation then revert again. I'd like to see price create a busy and cruise right through that is what I would like to see. I would love to see a fair value gap created as we went right through that area. That is exactly what I want to see. So price just tagged it, so I have to change my terminus to 1, change my sell stop to 1. Yes, this is not paper trading, ladies and gentlemen. This is live trading. Now I'm moving my stop, cover costs. I've already taken a partial, so we're moving a stop to break even. Never moved it until that happened. I had horrible stop management before that, but I waited till the right time to move it after the fact. So graduated for that as well. And looking for where's a good target. So right now I have it on previous week's high area. Looking at, we could target previous day's high again. We've tapped it there a couple times. Nothing to say that this might run up and make, a new high of the day. So I'm looking at, let's target going up to that fair value gap way up there is what that target was placed for. That was the theory behind that, or the reasoning behind that. And now price is spooling did create a fair value gap inside there. It might even create a second one here. Let's see what goes on. We are 160 ticks into the positive now, 170, so much better trade management, and I'm 5 minutes into the macro. I have found very commonly that the first half of the macro can run one way and the second half can run the other way. That's not always true. I have found that in my own personal backtesting studies, so do your own research. We're sitting right on that end dog again. And there's another immediate rebalance happening. Goes down and touches the previous candle's high before that. And the price spools back higher, so I'm liking that price is not closing below the end dog. Got 10 more seconds. So always watching the timer. That's why I like moving down to 15 and 5 second time frames, because the candles don't take as long to finish. That's beautiful. I like seeing that. Now we're in the next candle. So now we're basically running down equity. So I'm looking for higher highs on each 1 minute candle is what I want to see. So I'm going to move the stop up above the down close candle, and the low is why I placed the stop right there. Do some research on that as well. Don't just believe me. Go into the charts and see for yourself. Previous week's high. We got another interesting correlation at 2205.75. Three more minutes until the top of the hour. We made a higher high in the 1 minute again, so I'm liking that. Keep looking for higher highs on the 1 minute. That is my aim right now. That I'm looking for halfway of that premium wick that just happened, which is CE, because wicks are gaps. So I would like to see it close above that, if not a higher high. Both would be preferable, and I will move my stop according. And 20 seconds. Tiny little fair value gap. That price just came back down and rebalanced, and then spooling back up. All right, so we didn't make a higher high on those two candles, or excuse me, that one candle. So that's getting me closer to just closing this out and having enough, because 2 o'clock could be a change. There's CE of that wick that I want to see price close above. If it closes above, I'll have more confidence in it. And there's also CE of the wick before it. Trying to keep enough room so I can still have my hand on the button to close it. There we go. I like seeing price get above that, and now above the next high is what I'd like to see before the final minute of this hour. Not quite. 3, 2, 1. So close above. I like the close above. So we got the final minute before 2 o'clock here. There's a new higher high. I like that. Previous week's high ahead, and then also that 2205 again. We're hovering around 195 ticks. I love that. 200. There we go. Think about dropping to a 15-second chart, but no bother. It's more of the 15-second charts for entries, what I like to do, and keep on the 1 minute for exits. Just watching targets get hunted. Ten seconds before the top of the hour. Interesting how it's hitting price when it is. And as price is going to hit, just take it out. Now we're on the other side. So now it's at 2 o'clock. So we're going to move the stop up and just right one tick below CE, that most recent wick that I drew it on. And there we just tapped the 205 level, 2205.75. Looking to see if we can get a spike up. It's going to move this right before the potential order block. First I was thinking the session high from lunch. It's like, nope, let's go right below the order block. So that's why I place it right there. If we can get a fast run through that SIBI up there. But price doesn't seem like it wants to do that, so we're just going to cut it off right there. Even before it hit my stop. So that was the end of that trade. So after 2 failed trades, I said to myself, you should wait until the right time, and then good things happen. So I more than made up for my losses here, and on top of the morning session, it was a fruitful day. So hopefully that helps you. That'll show a little bit of what actual life is like in the day of a trader, and let me know if you got any questions, if I can help. Throw them in the comment section, throw me a like, and I will keep on chugging. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll be back tomorrow to do more trading with some news. And this is all on a no high impact news day, so good results for today outside of a couple bad executions. So that's all I can do is try and practice perfect executions, because there is no perfect results. But as long as you know what you're doing and you can work your way out of it, once you get some seat time, it'll work out in the end. So for the second time today, remember, tomorrow is promised for none of us. Live for today, and have a great day.